And I think they thought we would be pro sevens by that time. But Robin Summer and I like shared a breakout session there. That was our first time like launching out there, I'd say.
Nice. You remember that, huh, Vicky?
I remember you're in Florida. Loved it. Loved it. I went and found you on Facebook after that because I was like, I gotta follow this girl.
So good. Okay. Well, hi, everybody. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Darlene. Hi, Laura. Okay. We're just going to get started with our guest to respect her time. This is Melissa Brown, everybody. And she found LifeVantage almost 6 years ago. Before that, Melissa had several businesses, the last being a food truck. I love food trucks. The problem with most of her business models was she always taught her friends how to do them, and then they became her competition. Now she can share all her secrets with the entire company, and it just helps to build the bottom line. Thankfully, a comment on a Facebook post led her to her enroller, who shared the awesomeness that is LifeVantage. Melissa launched her business while living in a camper with 6 kids, traveling the US and Mexico. Now they are settled down in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Oh, see, I knew that. I read that and I still asked her. Yeah, so everybody, a lot of you that were at Global with us, as soon as you saw Melissa Spinkied on stage, some of you had asked to have her on before, and then after Global again, you asked, and I know why too. Like, I just feel like all of you are so down to earth, real, good, kind people, and we all feel that with Melissa too. Like, you just, what you see is what you get, and she's just really raw and authentic. So I'm so grateful you said yes, such short notice. So thank you for being here. I'd love for you just to talk about, like, just start with what was life before you found LifeVantage, and what was the post and what did you say?
Oh yeah. Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
So before LifeVantage, so, like, I'm in the middle of a divorce actually, and I know some people know that. I've posted that on social media, but I'm like, do I say ex-husband? And it's like yeah. Anyhow, my family, we were living on the Montana North Dakota border, and my soon-to-be ex-husband, I don't know, Ryan. We're gonna talk about Ryan. Perfect. Ryan was working in the oil field to pay off student loans. He had graduated from UND, $70,000 in student loan debt, and that just stressed us out big time. And he got a commercial aviation degree, and he couldn't even get guaranteed $30,000 a year. At that time, we had 3 kids, and that was not gonna like sustain life making that kind of money. So we moved to the oil field, and the $500 he spent to become a truck driver years before made him a lot more money than being a pilot, and paid off all that debt. He worked all the time. Our family kept growing, and we had 6 kids, and I was a homeschool mom, and my husband was always gone. You know, he worked 70 to 90 hours a week, and he didn't love it. We didn't love where we lived. And everybody was burnt out. Everybody's burnt out and stressed out. And we're like, this is terrible. Well, I'd always wanted to travel. And I was also starting businesses on the side, because if those of us that are like entrepreneurs, like, I joke that I'm like the girl in Napoleon Dynamite, with the side, I almost have it with the side pony, right? Like, that was me always. Like, I remember being a little kid, like weaving my little hot pads and going door to door selling them. Like, I just like business. And so I always had some ideas, and I'm like, I need to get freedom for my family. Like, that was just a huge drive. Like, he was miserable. Maybe we could do something. Like, I love to work. And so let's figure out a way to do this. I started trying to build money online. I saw that kind of freedom was very appealing to me. I'd always wanted to travel full time. And that's what we joke, like 23 years ago, I married him because he said he would travel the country in a school bus with me. And 23 years ago, that wasn't cool. It's really cool on Instagram to do something like that now. But 23 years ago, it was like, that was a wackadoo. And he said, oh, that'd be fun. I'd do that. I'm like, yes. And so I was trying to build money online. I was honestly trying to start like 5 businesses at the same time. My mentors were podcasts and YouTube, and I was just trying to soak up as much as I could, but I didn't have a person I could talk to that had done what I wanted to do, been where I wanted to go. But I was just going crazy. I posted on a Facebook group, how do you guys stay healthy while traveling full time? I was going to manufacture and sell a health product. And so I was working on creating a Facebook group where I was going to educate and then sell to people. So I went into this other group and posted this question. And then and it was all spam, like a lot of full-time travelers are network marketers, right? So they were just like, I do this and I can show you how to, and it was just like hard sales over and over and over. And I was like, eh. And then this one person said, essential oils, nutrigenomics, and colloidal silver. And I was like, I knew essential oils, I knew colloidal silver. That was actually what I was going to sell. But nutrigenomics, I did not know what that was. And it was not a sales pitch, right? It was just that. And so I messaged them and just started talking back and forth. And I argue with this person now because I had no idea they had something I could join. And I was actively looking to make money online, mobily, right? And so we kind of go back and forth about that because their thing said retired. And I'm like, but was picking his brain about business ideas, whatnot. We stayed in touch. He sent me a 30-minute, I believe it was a 30-minute science video. I watched like 30 seconds of it. I've learned the science through this business, but I like people and money. And the science is like, I'm more like, I'm a natural kind of crunchy mom, but I'm like, I let my friends do the research. Just tell me what to do. I'll do that. Right. And so when he sent me that video, I really didn't have time to go to the bathroom in that point in my life. And so I really did not watch this video. And then we were traveling full time. I saw we were both in the same town at the same time. I was just scrolling Instagram one day and I messaged and I said, hey, we're here. Why are you here? And he said, I'm giving a talk on creating generational wealth for entrepreneurs. And I remember I was like at my brother-in-law's house and I'm like, can I invite myself to that? Like, can I just ask to go? He's like, do it. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, hey, can I come to that? And he said, sure. And it was a LifeVantage, it was a training for consultants within LifeVantage already. I didn't know that. He said, it's called 5x5. Come meet me at this event center. I was like, okay. So we go there, sit in the back row, and take pages of notes. But I don't think it's something I want to join. I'm an independent person. I don't really want to do your thing. But then my husband looked at the science and he said, Melissa, this is actually amazing. And so the story, I'm trying to shorten this up for you.
No, awesome.
But I saw the leveraged income. So like at that time, the main thing I was doing to make money was buying and selling stuff on Amazon. So like I would go into stores for the clearance section, I would go into thrift stores or whatever, and I was buying stuff. And so I went to this Friday night of the training and loved what I heard. I loved these people's stories, took pages of notes, like I said. But the next day I couldn't go back to it because it was this secondhand store had closed down for like a rebrand. I don't know. They'd redone it. And it was the opening day of this giant DIA you know what I'm talking about. And so I go there and I'm scanning stuff and I find this Pampered Chef pan brand new, like in the box. And I'm like, I'm going to make $80 off of this thing. I was like, so that's a good find. But then I started thinking about what they were talking about from the night before. And I was like, wait, but as soon as that sells, like I have to go find more. Like I have to constantly replace what I'm doing. But if I did what those guys are doing, and I spent that time and I was talking to somebody and I signed up a customer and they order month after month after month, it's so much better, so much better. And I said, okay, let's do this. And I put the blinders on and I stopped doing those other businesses and we ran really hard with LifeVantage.
Wow. There's so much I want to ask you now after just one story. It's so good. But first of all, I can't believe, so the way that you went about it, he kept the carrot, and it's almost like he wasn't even dangling a carrot. Like he just wasn't going to tell you the information. We're not taught that. We don't want to do that. We want to be a little more bold sooner. So how did how you were approached with the business change how you went about it?
Well, I'll tell you, one of my friends, she says, Melissa, you should write a book on how to get people to beg you for the meeting, because that is what I do. I'll tell you, when I first started, and I wish I took a picture of this, but it's seared into my brain. So you just have a picture of me. So, like an older camper, because we were traveling in like nothing fancy. Okay. So like this little camper, and above the little table, there's the big cupboard that's long ways across there, right? And I started writing on sticky notes, which I have all over my desk here. I'm obsessed. So I'm writing all these names of people I think are going to want this, right? It was like all my hippie friends, all my friends that I knew were entrepreneurial, and I'm writing all their names and putting it up there. And then I wrote one that I swear is just from the Lord. And it said, most people that are going to join my team, I don't know right now. I don't know who they are. And I put that up there, and I started calling all those friends, and I like the people that I knew that I was already friends with, connected. I was like, I found something. I think you'll love it, because I know you like natural health, or I know you were looking for a way to make leverage income. I found something. Have you ever heard of oxidative stress? Have you ever heard of NRF2 activation? I don't know anything. I'm just learning, but I think this is it. And I want you to hear from my friend. And then he knows the answers. Ask him all your hard questions. And that is what I did. And then we ran really hard, doing just 2 Zoom calls a week. And I would invite, and he would do those for me while we were traveling. And then we went back to like the last place we were living up in North Dakota and really started then I took over. He came for 1 weekend, and then I did all the meetings after that. So initially I was very straightforward with my friends, but now, especially moving to Colorado Springs, and I'm going to new churches for the first time, going to places, and I don't want people here comes the network marketer, and it's just finding that balance. And so I would make I want people to ask me what I'm doing, right? So it's a little bit of a dance. It's kind of fun. I enjoy the dance, but it's great when you're traveling for your team. I'd be like, oh, sorry, I can't make it this weekend. I have to go up to North Dakota for work, or I'm going to Orlando for a conference or something. I make sure I say those kind of things. And I tell my team all the time, I'm like, you guys, being on this call, great job. You guys are on this call. This is your business, right? And when you have, let's say you have family in town for the week, and you say, you know what, I want to hang out with you, but Monday night at 7:30, I have a work appointment. I have to be on that call. And you do that, and your people are like, what is she talking about? What kind of work thing is she doing? Right? This is serious. I'm taking it serious, attracts those other people. And then when people will ask me, what do you do?
Oh, this is so good. Melissa. Come back. Oh, no. Melissa, we can't hear you. You're frozen.
Is she in her camper?
I don't know. I don't think so. No. She'll be back. Oh, there she is. Gosh, you're on a roll, girl.
Sorry.
Oh, you're like, no.
I got kids wanting to play video games.
Oh.
Okay, so where did I cut out for you?
So when people ask you what you do.
Yeah, I just say different things, I guess, oh, I'm a biohacker, or I'm a business coach, or, I kind of say different things depending on who I'm talking to. But I really make them ask me. And then especially if I'm at, we'll be at, Bible study, or we're out at a party, and the people want to start asking me all the stuff. And I'm like, let's talk later. Let's schedule a time. I really try and change the conversation. There's a book, it's Big Al, something Big Al, how to get them to beg you for a presentation, something like that. get the audiobook, but he talks about that all the time. Like, you're at Thanksgiving and your family's like, how's that business doing? And you're just like, oh, it's great. Thanks. How are you doing? Like, pass the peace. Like, he's like, change the subject now. Like, do not start being like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Like, this lady just recovered from her sight. Like, it's amazing. Her arm grew back, all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we want to gush that stuff, but it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. So you just want to change it. And then you could call them after and be like, hey, we talked briefly, or you mentioned your sister has MS, something, you know what I mean? Like, if something got brought up, call them later and say, like, I would love to chat with you. If you have a half hour, like, let's get together. I would love to share. But you don't want to be the person people are running away and hiding from. And I often tell my team, it's like, I don't want to offend anybody, but this is the example I use. Like, imagine a kid with autism walks up to you and is obsessed with Tonka trucks. I don't care, like anything. They're obsessed with Sharpies, right? You know the kid that is obsessed with that one thing, and that's all they talk about. And when they walk up to you, you know where the conversation is going. They're going to talk about Sharpies and tell you the history and blah, blah, blah. And you are hiding from them. Don't be that person with your business. You don't want them running from you.
It's that what you just said, like, oh, it's so good. You need to be on stage in Nashville talking about that, because we all just get in our head, right? We instantly get in our head when someone's in front of us, or we know we want to talk to somebody, or someone asks us what we do.
They look slightly interested.
Yes. And what you're doing, like, it has such posture. Like, your posture and your energy is just so attractive. Like, I could see how people would just want more information. That is so good, Melissa. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. The other thing too, like you said, you used to do like buying and selling for Amazon, and then realizing what leveraged income can bring to you. I feel like we're really heavy in that area today. People want to be an individual. They want to do their own thing. They don't want to work for anybody. And more than ever, we really have to find a way to teach them about leverage income. Are you coming across that? Or like, what are conversations like for you today?
Absolutely. Okay. So this is my favorite thing to talk about right now. And it was fun. Tyler Daniels was on our team call the other night, and I was telling him what I've been teaching my team. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm stealing that. I'm like, you go for it. He's like, okay. So everybody, affiliate marketing, right? Everybody's doing it. Everybody's fine with it. I'm obsessed. I'm a TikToker. I know some people hate it, but I'm addicted. And everybody's got TikTok shop and all this stuff. And one thing that he said, because he said, what if people say, like, I don't want to do MLM? He's like, tell them you don't have to. And that part was interesting to me, because I'd never thought of actually taking that whole word, that whole thing off the table. But he's like, just tell them they don't have to. You're just sharing a product. You can be truly that affiliate marketer, and you can build this business and make great money as an affiliate marketer. If you want to build a team, you're also going to get paid really, really well for that. But here's the thing that I want you guys to talk about. I want you to go talk to influencers. I want you to start having this conversation, because I get a piece of that pie. So please go help build my pie. But like, let's just say, like, I'm obsessed. Oh gosh, this is bad. Like, these room air fresheners, I know they're not good. So no, maybe we'll talk about something that's cleaner. No, that's what I got handy. Okay, so let's say you're selling this Chip and Joanna Gaines, like, lovely smelling room freshener, right? And you're making your video and people are buying from the link in your thing, right? If you're selling on Amazon, most people are getting around 8% for this, and electronics pay the highest, but let's say you get 8% on average if you sold a bottle of that. What happens when this bottle, like, Vicky's the customer and this runs out? Vicky bought it from me and then it runs out. How's Vicky reordering that? Like, someone unmute and tell me, if you bought something from me through my Amazon link and then it runs out, how are you buying it the second time?
Go back to Amazon, buy again.
Thank you, Jen. Yes, right? They're not going to my link. They're not shopping through me. I introduced them to them. Amazon's like, thank you very much. You gave me a customer for life and I paid you once, right? But with this, with this, they shop through your link. When they go type on their computer LifeVantage, where are they going? Back to their account. And when they're reordering, even if they didn't order on subscription, even if they're like, I don't know if it's working for me. And then a month later, they're like, oh, my shoulder's really hurting again, right? And they're like, no, maybe that stuff did work. And they order the second time, it's going back through you. Okay. Having this conversation, if you guys aren't having this with people, understand the leverage of that. Like, you want that order month after month after month. Don't just let Amazon use you one and done. No, we want lifetime customers. Okay. Here's the next thing with that. So let's just say you're selling this on TikTok and then somebody buys it and they're like, that's amazing. You know what? I think I'm going to be an influencer too, and I'm going to sell this stuff. Are you going to get a piece of that pie if that lady starts a business sharing this?
Mhm.
But if they bought this and they go, you know what? I need to make some extra cash too. Every month, that lady sends me a thing like, hey, thanks for my order. Love doing business with you. Like, she's getting paid every month I order this stuff. I think I want that. And then these people start signing up as consultants that is linked to you, and it's building your business way better than this one and done stuff. And that's the conversation I think we need to be having over and over and over.
They dropped the mic. I'm like, I don't even know what to ask her, right? Like, this is gold. Like, let's just box it up right now. Like, we could all do reels on that kind of stuff, right? Educating people on the difference of what leverage income is versus trying to just do selling on a site.
Ooh, okay. Collaborative stuff helps me. So like when you said that, Tanya, thank you. Like, now imagine if you told the story of like who started spinning the facts that midwives were evil and bad, right? It was the doctors and the people educating the doctors and wanting the hospitals, right? So who's spinning the facts that natural herbs are bad, right? Oh, it's the pharmaceuticals. It's these people. Like, who's spinning the thing that like network marketing and MLM's bad? Maybe that's coming from the Amazon people. Maybe that's coming. And I would just start planting that seed. Like, I think that'd be a really good video.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so tell me what you and your team are focusing on right now.
Oh, making money. Oh, I mean, okay. Now, helping lots of people. So what are we focusing on? Like, taking advantage of the money that is on the table. That True Renew is fantastic. Starting to get that message out, getting people excited. I was just listening to it. One of my guy on my team was like, did you hear the podcast, the Activation Nation podcast on the True Renew? He's like, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. And so I'm posting that in my customer group. I'm trying to get people like excited to get on these products. So with enrolling consultants, because I think that with the new comp plan, people are so focused on hitting diamond, which is very great. Hit diamond. You want to hit diamond, but don't lose long-term vision. Okay. You want to build a team. When people are so like, oh, just be a customer, don't be a consultant, just be a customer, because you're so focused on getting that diamond vision, diamond vision. Yeah, diamond vision. You're missing out because you only know so many people. But if you had 5 consultants on your team, if you did encourage 5 people to not just be a customer to help you get diamond, but you said, you know what, like, I'm going to make some money. Why don't you make some money too? And who do they know? The power of who do they know that you have no access to yet is very, very, very powerful. And so I would encourage you to keep always talking about, do you want to find out how you could get your products for free? I tell people you can make part-time income, big time income, it's like, it's your decision. I'm going to partner with you, whatever your goals are. And that is very important to me. I'm not pushing anybody anywhere. Just let me know what you want, how much time you have, and then let's run together in whatever that is for you, because I'm so passionate. And this is probably one of my other things right now is just, I attract type A women, imagine. But these type A women with a bunch of kids, like one of my gals, I'm not joking, I was on the phone with her today. She's pregnant with number 15. Okay. I have a lot of large families on my team. And that's, I spoke at that, wherever we were, San Antonio, about that whole same 24 hours in a day. And it's like, that girl's got different 24 hours in a day than I have in my day, only having 4 kids at home, right? It's a different deal. I'm just so passionate about not burning out and making this sustainable and helping women to run a really great race, even if maybe their business isn't going to be an A+ business, right? Like maybe you're not going to be awarded every award. Maybe you're not going to hit the incentive trip, but you're also you're getting healthier. Like you've got products paid for you and your kids, and you're building that income is growing gradually, and just figuring out a way to help them feel like they're doing a really great job, even if it's not maybe the tippy top of that A+ thing that they're used to hitting. And because I find a lot of people, if they can't be A+, they just quit. They want to quit. And so just trying to figure out a way that they can run their race and be very proud of themselves for what they can do.
Dude, this is so good. I can't get enough of this. You guys, we have to all watch this over and over. There was a beautiful segue to my last question. And then if you guys have questions for Melissa, please put them in the chat. But is just the reminder, I think we all need, especially now, again, because there's so much noise coming at us in the network marketing arena. And again, with affiliates and influencers and blah, 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 is that it's a journey and it's a marathon. Like this does take time, and it truly is a numbers game. Yes.
Yes.
Like, can you just remind everybody? Because people do. I just feel like people get, especially now, we get too antsy. We get too upset that it's not going the way we want it to go. And everybody's got their own personal growth journey, and they're ready when they're ready. And that's not when everybody else is ready.
Preach. I'll tell you, one of my favorite visuals ever was the late Jessie Lee, which is so terrible. But I saw her share on a Zoom, I don't know, something one time, this deck of cards analogy. I don't know, have any of you guys seen her deck of cards thing? Okay, so good. So she says, we all have the same deck of cards. Okay. It's just shuffled differently. And I want you to think about like your 2s through 10s are no's. Okay. Your jacks and queens, they sign up as customers. Your kings sign up as consultants, and your aces like see it like we see it, and they run hard. Okay. And here's the thing, that it gets shuffled, and it's so powerful when you have the cards and you start flipping them. And it's like, let's see what your deck gets. And maybe you get 10 no's in a row, right? And you're like, no one's going to see this. Oh my gosh. Ugh. But the next card you flip's an ace, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, they get it. Like they get it big time. But then maybe after that, you get a couple more no's, and then you get some customers, and then but then if we reshuffle it, we did it again. And we said, okay, now let's see Jean, like what is Jean going to get? And Jean gets an ace right off of the bat. And then she's like, dude, I'm amazing. Look at me, like I'm a master enroller. Look how I can coach a girl. Look at this, right? And then she gets all these no's after. And she's like, what happened? I had the secret sauce. I had the magic, and it's gone, right? And we tell ourselves all these stories. And this thing is, we just have to quiet and just remember, it is that numbers game and that deck of cards, and they're flipping, and you just never know. And you know, I've kind of had a season where I had a few different people that I thought were the aces, right? But stuff came in, and they're not. And it's been hard on me, and just having, okay, let's go back. Let's start enrolling again, Melissa. Like, I know I have the magic. I've got these other leaders on my team. Like, I know people see it. I see you guys, like being on these calls helps so much. Like other people are going to see it the way I see it, and they're going to run the way I ran, and we're going to do something really amazing and help so many people. Like, I don't know about you, but like the testimonies are like my addiction. I want to hear how you're doing. Like, I do this because I need money, right? Like I don't have a ton of free time that I was like, oh, I'm bored. Let's go do something. But I do this business because of those testimonies. Like it is so rewarding to be a part of all that. So, yeah, it's a numbers game. Just remember that deck of cards and don't want to get to your head.
So good, Melissa. Jen asked, what do you listen to grow daily? Like, what is your daily routine?
It's so different. I'll tell you, I am really like the past year and a half, I've been like, dude, Melissa, self-care. Like I was just burnt out, stressed out. Like I have this poster of like all these like how to rid stress ideas. Like I'm like, keep like searching on TikTok. What's another way I can get rid of this? And so I'm like walking almost every morning up, looking at that sunshine right in the morning and getting out in nature and not feeling guilty about that. Like I used to be like, I should take a kid with me. I should be spending some time with that one. And I always felt like, like I'm a multitasking queen. Like if I'm not doing 3 things at once, like I'm slacking, and I've had to be reminded many times. Thankfully, the Lord told me once, but it's deep in here that efficiency is not a fruit of the spirit. And I, it's okay to just chill. And so honestly, I've started going on walks without listening to anything. And it's just like having that quiet and just being out there has been so big for me. I posted something, if you go to my Facebook page, it's just a few things back, but it's something about rest and like, what if we asked ourselves, instead of saying, have I done enough to earn rest? It's like, have I rested enough to be able to do like my best work ever? It says something more beautiful than that, but it's so powerful. And I would say that's really where I'm at more, is more quiet, more nature. And I love it. Like Marcel, what you tell a person one-on-one is different than what you tell on stage, right? Because when you're on stage, you're speaking to this large audience and you have to tell them kind of a vanilla thing, maybe like, this is what you should do. But Marcel said, Melissa, I was talking about a couple that I really wanted to recruit that used to be really high up in Amway, and they're the best people ever. And they're like my age and they're awesome. And I'm like, what should I do? And he said, you just keep being yourself, make your funny videos. And I was like, I'm gonna tell the world you said go make funny videos. But he said, go make your funny videos and up level your quality of life, like do that, go have fun. People want to see you doing that. Like I used to just post when I was working, and I had to set alarms to like take pictures of my kids doing school, take pictures of other stuff, because my social media made it look like I was a total workaholic, and that's all I did. And not many people are attracted to that. Like, who's like, oh, sign me up to work 24/7, right? And it's like, show going on the walk. And I, you're teaching your team what you do by those stories. Like, if you want your team reading, show them that you're reading a book. If you want to listen to podcasts, show them that you're listening to podcasts. Like, but I want my people outside in nature and having that. So that's really what I've been working on.
Is TikTok working for you? Like, are you attracting people?
It's fun. I've had some videos, I've had some customers out of it. I'll tell you, I feel like honestly, so much of my time the past year has been more like setting up boring stuff for my team, but stuff that was needed, and I had the time and the money and the creativity to build some stuff. And so that's more, I mean, this sounds bad, but I haven't had the space to really recruit. I'm just like, I'm going to help who's running. And I did recruit a couple, but I'm like, I'm going to focus on this one gal. And I focused hard on her. Now she's gone. But so maybe that's my lesson, is like, not putting all your eggs in one basket. But I just didn't feel like I haven't had much of the bandwidth really to bring him in. And I think that's one of our big things, is working on a system. So we want to make sure when you have that video that goes off, when you have people messaging you, what is your flow, and knowing it in advance. So you're not like, oh, crap, they're asking for information. What do I do now? So we're just getting more clear on that. And that's what we've been
Now we
doing.
got the hub too, right? Which is great.
It's beautiful. I'm so thankful.
Yeah. Well, I'm thankful for you. And I know everybody else is. You're just, gosh, you're such a gem. You gave us gold after gold after gold tonight, Melissa, like far exceeded what I thought. I mean, I'm so grateful. Thank you. And I just wish you all the best. So team, I don't want you to leave. We have to go over a couple quick things, but I do want to pray now. Melissa, I would love it if you'd stay and we could pray for you.
Yes, but I'd also love to, I want to listen in like what you're doing. Can you mind?
Oh, good. Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Okay, let's pray real quick, guys. Lord, I just want to thank you so much for Melissa and just the fire that you've planted in her and the way she's walking just so tall and using the gifts that you've given her just to be so confident and bold and using the tool of LifeVantage and using it the way that I know you want her to use it. I just pray for her through this time, her and her family, and that you just hold her up and help remind her that you're walking right beside her, and can't wait to see what's ahead for her. And I just pray for this team as well, and pray for LifeVantage. Thank you for all you've given to us. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for
Yeah.
having me. It energizes me to teach. Like, I really appreciate you having me with y'all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Aw. Okay, guys, I needed to remind you, because I just don't want this to get lost in translation, that any consultant, and I have a full report that I got from the company, and it's long, but if you know, you'll know who you're looking for based on your team, your consultants, your customers. It's consultants and customers in our organization that are on the Healthy Glow stack. And we want to make sure the customers, for sure, sending them that voice text, letting them know that by having the Healthy Glow stack in November and December, they get 40% off on the new product. Now, there are 4 slides that you can send them as well, 4 images. I have them pinned at the top of our page that Des Mamet has been using as well. And, you know, Des has millions of customers. And she said today on our leader call, like out of 15 that she's talked to so far, 12 have said yes. And she's not even sending them samples. It's just her telling them her belief in the product, retinol alternative, 11 serums in one, just some of the results people are getting. And then she sends them those 4 images that are in the Facebook group. And she's having people say, yes, they want to get on it. So then what you'll do is November 2nd, when it's live on the site, if you don't take care of their account for them, you're going to contact them back, keep your list, and let them know that it's in on the site, and they can go in and add it to their subscription, and they'll get it for about $42 instead of $68. So again, I have it on Team Act. And then for you, again, it's a Healthy Glow consultant stack for you to get it for free. And I just don't want you to miss out on that. And I don't want your team, I know you guys show up on these, but your team members might not get that. So by you going through the list, if you want it, just contact me after and I'll email it to you. You can ensure that your team members as well then have the right stack in place to get it for free also. We want people falling in love with this new product, right? And it's just another way. And it's such a big way that the company is investing back in us by giving us all this free product. And then the other big thing I wanted to clarify, the fast track reset is for everybody. And it starts this month. So I just wanted to clarify for you, it's for the next 90 days, October, November, December. And that means you don't have to enroll like all 3 customers in the month, 3 consultants in the month. You have those 3 months to do it. But of course, right, the sooner the better. But from now until December, earn $50 for every 3 personally enrolled customers that purchase 100 SV in their enrollment month. Plus, during October, you can also earn double bonus for consultant enrollment. So get $100 for every 3 consultants you personally enroll with at least 100 SV during their enrollment month. Okay. So I just want to make sure you were clear on that as well. So, and then the onboarding site that we just talked about on the pose call, make sure with the onboarding site, you're not going to know if your consultants sign up for it. You're not going to get an email or anything. So when you set them up on the onboarding site, it's important to let them know, just tell them, I'm going to follow back up with you, make it homework for them. Okay. Let them know, I want you to get signed up for this. And I'm going to follow, let's say in the next 24 hours, I want to make sure you're signed up and that you've at least gone through day 1, through the first module. Give them that homework. So then when you check back with them, you kind of know what pace they're willing to go. And you may follow back up with them and they've gone through all of it. Because it doesn't take a ton of time to go through all of it. People could really get it done within 24 to 48 hours if they wanted to and they were excited to do that. But it is a great thing to make it homework to help you gauge where they're at. But you will have to follow up to see if they've gone through it. And then the other last thing is there is a fast track tracker in your back office. And the way that you find it is just simply by, if you were to log into your site, you don't go into your back office. Once you're logged in, that drop down comes up again, and it says, I'm going to show you real quick on my phone. Once you log in, hold on, sorry, I had it up. There's a growth summit tracker too, you guys, for those of you that are summiters on the Monday night, but I don't think it's working properly yet, but I'm going to check on that. So you go to your menu, go to account info, and then this drop down, you can see it'll say trackers. Sorry, that doesn't, trackers is right in here. And if you click on trackers, there will be a fast track tracker that will show you where you're at in regards to the fast track reset and getting those extra bonuses and that extra money. Make sense? Okay, awesome. Okay, that is all I had. Wasn't she amazing? Oh my gosh, you guys. I can't wait to get this out. There's so much gold in that. So much gold. And I really I'm serious, for those of you that are using social media as a tool, like there's a lot of nuggets we can take from that and turn it into stuff. So anyway, and I would suggest also, if you're using social media, go to her Facebook page and just scroll through and find stuff you love and copy and paste and borrow, and because I just love her boldness. And I really, really love, last thing, I love how she's just so confident in what we have. She is confident in being a network marketer. She is confident in our products. And I just want you to carry that on your shoulder. Like, we should all carry that confidence. Like, I'm sure you want to hear about it, but I don't have time right now. So let's talk about something else, right? Like just that little bit, making them want to just get it out of you. I just loved that. That alone is huge. Instead of us wanting to get it out of them and get them to join us, right? Turn it around, flip it, flip the switch. Okay. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. Have a great night. Bye.